MIBR, they can be a little cheeky. Slip into the corner. That is going to be dissipating now. Oh, okay, that's nice. Yeah, very heads up.
Yeah, exactly how Zipto have handled this pistol and this anti-eco is exactly what you want to see. The control and the awareness coming through for all players. You can see their communication is looking good. This is a clean anti-eco.
Yeah, that is absolutely wondrous for them. And you can see Camu really focused on building towards that ult early on. Only 2 away for her.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to be talking to each other about. They want to get Camu to go hunting for this last kill. You can see that's exactly what she's doing. She's booking it down this long beat, trying to find where she is, but
flawless.
That's a calculated. I like that, Juice.
You kind of got to do it. Yeah. You gotta be doing that. That's a smart way to do it. Take away there once Camu, as you said, would have loved to have had that chance to get another step towards the ult.
I would love a math nerd right now in the chat to do the maths, look at the cost of that molly, the value, and we really figure out whether that was optimal or not. But
so I'm leaning over. Has Mini done the calculating, or can he count that high? Not sure. Might be a bit too far for him. Too many fingers to get that high. But we are into the first real go of things, right? And the scary factor is that this bonus is normally lovely. As I said, it's a bonus. But when you've got 11 rounds against you, the impact changes. So love to see them have a good go at this for MIBR. First chance to pretty much get themselves secure on 12, right? Yeah. So let's see what Zipto decide to go with. It seems very all in.
Zipto are pretty happy with this. They've already spotted the Viper, already burned the Viper molly here. You can see SR in is very fast to rotate. This refight with the nade.
They're going in. Look at this aggression.
Wow.
And look at the absolute slaughter, at least for the first.
Good response.
Masih ada apa sih SIP buat comeback? Ayo guys, halo yang baru join. Keras banget sih MIBR. SIP comeback. Yang baru join.
One towards Puka here. Tap on the spikes. First spike found. Now down to a fair 2v2. Horn's gonna clear through.
Keras banget sih MIBR.
Find Alexi, and now towards Shirazi, who stands tall with the
Mantap.
What a huge bonus! What a huge bonus coming in right at the nade as well. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. It's come down to that insurance plan, the last round, and just secure that round. But this refight coming through for Zipto, they've been aware now 2 different times, just waiting and actually kind of hoping that MIBR refight onto them.
That's Matt. Okay, we said it round by round, and normally we don't kind of include the bonus, or at least I don't. Right? Casting wise, I'm like, okay, that's probably going to go MIBR's way. Cool, then we're in the buy round, then we start talking. Now they come into this, they have the safety net of Camu's ult if it gets really dangerous, but you're already hearing those ult ults being collected. MIBR, higher priority towards that, at least with showers, so they've claimed that and they back away.
Decent answer here for that. If you're Zipto, you want to start kind of looking at the long game here.
Right there.
You want to be one step ahead of the ult economy here. Try to get Aniri to be farming these, Terra or Alexi.
So cautious. Spike being left back super deep. You can see even how, I guess, hesitant or very diligent, you want to call it, Alexi is clearing back the space. There's a chance maybe someone had slipped the net here. Got to be a bit careful. Again, people are willing to take higher chances with those shares, try and slip through on some timings. No one has yet.
Yeah, Melissa wants to throw this tether down and combo it in tandem with SRN. Try to get a nade kill if they can. Oh, what a shot.
And that shot, Shirazi's gone. Okay, no plant yet. Molly gonna go in. Deny at least a little bit of a space play back through. Well, not going to find too much, but Melissa just goes straight into the smoke and finds the kill, and now they're down to 3. This is all going a little bit wrong here. Camu going to give away the game as well. Could be swung on from multiple angles. Gets very dangerous here. The bait from one and the swing from the other. Oh my word, MIBR. That's not the round you win, but hell, why not?
Oh, wow, that's pain. That is pain, Lauren. Just with Deagles as well, and it just came down to shots. Just really good aim coming out here for SRN. And if it didn't come down to the aim, it would have always came down to the utility, right? MIBR had that game plan, and they chose the right stack.
MIBR keras juga ya?
This Mastercard
Ya,
30
apa
years ago.
karena yang main cowok ya, jadi kayak
It's
gitu.
haunting me right now.
Because this looked like, hey, they could get a couple good rounds here. You know, they're looking really nice. They had that ult in the pocket. Zipto instantly going to try and slow this down. Going to go for the tactical timeout. Don't mind it. You might as well give it a go. Scary factor in my mind is we now have that cycle up for MIBR. They've got the ult with SRN. They're very close by with Sayuri's, which is the Brim ult. They have 2 away from Jellies and 1 away from the Nightfall as well, if they opt for that. So they have options aplenty. Alexi 1 off from hers, but nothing to really maybe instantly combo that with and make a way forward. But, I mean, Zipto looked good for 3 rounds.
And those 3 rounds
Looked real good.
were off the back of full control, right?
Yes.
So I think they're reminding each other now that, listen, all of these rounds so far, we've had it in the bag. We've been controlling the pace. So that Raze ultimate does make things dicey, but they're going to be able to predict where SRN is going to want to fight, just like they did 2 rounds ago. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Zipto poking and prodding towards this long B area again, draw SRN or draw whatever trap Zipto has towards that area of the map, and rather MIBR, and try to slow work it from that angle.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Do we have, I don't want to say game on our hands, it's a little bit early at
A little early.
12.
I'm
But, you know,
I'm holding my
hey.
breath.
Yeah. Let's see if we have a round in our hands, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to boil that down further. I'll be taking any feedback or, you know, thoughts for yourself. As it stands, this is where I'm focused. We're going to see MIBR. You can see the setup. Second contact was made. This was going to happen. But for now, patience and nothing being given. Look at the line drawn in the sand here, Christine. They ain't moving.
Yeah, they are very paranoid about this Raze flying down this short A right now. Zipto, they want to kind of demand MIBR to make the first move, but MIBR, they feel okay. Such deep lines right now. The fact that Jubes has all of this info down long B is allowing only 2 players to just sit. Pushing Jelly off the line should make the defenders think twice, at least a little bit. But look, Jelly, she just re-goes right back onto the line.
The temptation has drawn the player.
Beautiful.
Wow, Zipto, this is stunning. This was so well choreographed. Now, SRN is quick, though. SRN has made it back here fast. Does she find a target? No. So the ult is nullified. Beautifully navigated by Zipto. Sayuri, though, claims a stake in the ground and actually pushes through. No! It's all going to pieces here. Zipto trying to take space outside of that plant. And MIBR clearing back through. And just looking so sharp. SRN's not giving up a quarter in this. Camu now in a 1v4. And I think we know how this goes. Has to respect the molly. So Camu buying a little bit of time, but she has to buy a whole lot. Oh, what an attempt! But attempt would not be enough here. 13 to 4. That's a landslide.
And I think this last round perfectly illustrates how this first map has gone so far. Zipto looking like they did, and they had it in the bag, looking like they did exactly what they needed to do to get another round on the board, but it's just MIBR with another answer, sending SRN in to just clean up.
They are actually such a scary team to witness play. So much aggression there, but it's only map 1. Split is coming up next. Don't miss it.
Halo Bang, halo yang baru join, halo. Gak tau ya, menurut gue gaimbang aja ya. Game changernya agak apa ya? Agak aneh sih sistemnya. Halo. Panggilannya harus bubu.
Red Bull gives you
Welcome, guys, welcome.
wings.
So, you want to work in esports?
Aneh lah.
Great. Step 1, never spell it like that. Better.
Step 2, apply to the MasterCard Gamer Academy, a program created in partnership with G2
Ayo guys, kita
designed to
dukung
give you
Sipto.
all the tools and resources
Kita
needed to
dukung
help you start a career
pemain
in
Indo.
esports.
This
Si
is an
siapa? Enery sama si
education in
Tara.
everything, from creating content to managing a team.
All from experts who'll explain every aspect of running a top-tier org, prepping for a broadcast, or designing global esports events for millions of fans.
Selected participants will have access to live lectures and insights you won't find anywhere else.
And even the opportunity to travel to the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational and Valorant Champions.
So they're flying them out to champs?
Yep.
Thank
you, MasterCard. So if you've ever dreamed of a life working in esports, this could be your opportunity to apply for an unforgettable experience.
Can anyone apply?
No, you can't apply.
It's so fun and games until it doesn't toss me out. I'll hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller you fade out. Hop up in the window. Yeah. You cannot get my vibe. No, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe. No, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Try to paint me like a no-name, so sorry, but we're not the same. No, we're not the same.
Kalian baru join. Kita ngobrol bareng ya.
Please forgive me, cause I don't feel any pity. I'm fed up with lies. You wanted my demise. Now you're watching me rise, rise, rise. Up in the window. Smaller and smaller you fade out. Up in the window. Yeah. You cannot get my vibe. No, there's no way. I'm flying high above all your gravity, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. You cannot get my vibe. No, there's no way. You can say what you want, call me insane, trying to bring me down, but I'll never stay. Hey, hey, watch me levitate. Watch me levitate. Hey, hey, watch me levitate.
Stop. Kita OTW ke berdua guys. Kita dekat layarnya ya. Yang lain jangan lupa. Semoga
MIBR, they just
gamenya nggak
can't
ngantuk ya, guys.
stop winning on this stage. I'm now joined by their coach Marlo and Arthur to do some translations as well. Now, over the last 3 maps, you've dropped just 7 rounds. We have never seen domination like this on a global stage in the lower bracket. What is the secret behind this confidence and success you guys have right now?
Então, a gente quer saber qual é o segredo por trás do fato que vocês nos últimos 3 mapas só deixaram perder 7 rounds. O que você tem a dizer sobre isso, que é um fato assim nunca visto antes numa situação que vocês estão no lower?
A gente, para a derrota para G2, a gente teve uma conversa muito séria, que a gente não conseguiu desempenhar o nosso máximo. Mesmo a gente ganhando um mapa, a gente se sentiu desconfortável. E quando a gente veio para essa lower, a gente veio com a intenção de mandar uma mensagem, que é realmente que o MIBR chegou.
So back in the time when we had our match with G2, we lost there. Even though winning 1 map, we didn't feel that we were at our best. So after that, we had a very serious talk. And in the end, we came to the lower with one message to say, now MIBR has arrived.
Oh, I love that. Thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck on map 2.
Those are such scary words. It's like the real MIBR. And that's what I was saying, right? Like, we haven't seen anything yet from this team. There's so much more in their playbook. And I'm not alone in thinking that this match, or this map rather, was going to be a lot more even. It's just that, you know, it's that dominant MIBR, right? But you did have several rounds where there was a lot of firepower being traded out, right? SRN and Alexi, for example, did trade blows early in our Verizon high-speed moment.
Yeah, listen, it was a very important factor of this series in general to see someone be able to trade blow for blow with SRN. The scariest thing about it is SRN was still delivering an incredible performance and was not alone in leading the team. And at this point, there are multiple facets that you're going to have to shut down. Yes, there were moments that looked okay, some high-speed moments indeed, but for SRN, it just doesn't seem like there's a stop sign on this road.
Yeah, I mean, the utility to set SRN up on this attack side was absolutely on point. This was a mirror match, Gecko Fade on both sides, but I think you saw how just comfortable MIBR looked with this composition. They were just slamming side executes in so many of these rounds, and honestly, Zipto could not find the solution. You then got into these post-plant situations as well, and MIBR was using that second refresh wave of their initiator utility to keep fighting forward and completely lock their opponent out from getting into this map. They just played to the comp strengths perfectly, their players were all fragging out, and they've earned themselves a third consecutive dominant map.
It's so scary. I mean, coming from somebody like, you know, on Pacific, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so painful. But you can't deny how clinical MIBR with these post plants, right? There's some great trading over here, and it's just so annoying to play against. Like, especially there was one round, I believe it was round 8.
Yeah.
Was just incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what we've been talking about, right? Like, the utility just looks on point. I think MIBR might be like the best team at just straight up team fighting left in this tournament. They're so good at just dumping all their utility in together, scaling off each other, and just playing off each other so well and so innately.
Obviously, you're seeing there some opportunities taken by Zipto on the way back through. It was an off shot through the smoke. Seemed like there was a decent opportunity, followed up with a second, but again, you're going to see MIBR consistently diving back in, and I think the pace is really what's impressive about this squad. You say about the team fights, and certainly in the early round, they're getting in your face, they're getting aggressive with SRM, but then you move to late round, there's always this extra utility. You saw the Mosh go down, you saw now the Molly right afterwards, the snake fight that was there. There's no way to get near that spike. The only option is to go and duel them, and as we've seen, that is somewhere that MIBR are extremely comfortable.
Yeah, that round is the best 7-1 has ever been for a Brazilian team.
Oh.
That is so painful, but I get what you're saying. And you know what? I remember Sao Paulo. There's a lot of kinship actually between, you know, the Southeast Asian kind of like vibe and the Brazilian vibe. Okay. And right now it seems like MIBR, they're out APACing APAC at the moment, and that's how they're playing. That's the pace. Both of these teams adjusting to each other.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, we always talk about Zipto being the star power team. MIBR is showing they can ball too.
Yeah, and this gets me a little bit worried for this next map. But first, let's hear what Colbat had to say ahead of map 2.
I'm now standing by with Coach Colbat ahead of map 2 now. I heard some, you know, shouting and energy backstage as well before you guys came back out. So I wanted to ask you, what do you say to your players in moments like this to make sure you can bring this back?
I think just be confident, focus on what we practice, and don't like deviate from what we plan. Because I think when people start to get nervous, the nerves get to them, they start to like do strange things, then yeah, it gets bad.
I mean, Split is going to be your map. You guys picked this, so I can't wait to see it. Good luck.
I do like that he admitted
Split
that nervousness factor, right? Because unfortunately, I think we've been seeing it a lot from the side of Zipto. We've been seeing a lot of, you know, those weird things, those strange things happening that Colbat mentioned. Perhaps some mistakes that have been repeating over and over again here for this squad, Mitch.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of patterns, mistakes being repeated over and over again. Well, let's hope that's
you like
true
repeating
for
mistakes?
Zipto. I like watching repeated mistakes. I just like patterns in general. It tickles my brain.
Pattern guy.
And I think, you know, I'm looking at MIBR last time around, map 2, they were infinitely worse. They went from losing 0 rounds to losing 3. If they follow track here, we could well see a map 3 in this series. That's about the best hope that I can draw, because that truly looked like a map of just different individuals, different levels across the stage.
And if there was a map to bounce back, I mean, this could be the one for Zipto. They play a funky comp. They're rocking the double duelist on Split with a neon and a raise. I've never seen any other team but then pull that one out, and they got a dominant win against FlyQuest Red in that series. That map on Split was a little bit closer, making it all the way to overtime, but if there was a map to kind of get the confidence back, start feeling it again, locking in your kind of like double duelist, like prime APAC comp, I couldn't think of a better way.
I mean, I do agree with you, but at the same time, we're talking about that game. It was 15-13 going deep into overtime against one of the first teams to drop out of the tournament. And now you're facing off against a team that, facing Zeta on a deep run, who were challenging some of the stronger teams, decimated them. And the question of, was this a fluke? Was Zeta just playing poorly? Well, they've just come through and done it on this map as well. It's not looking likely they'll cool off anytime soon.
Here's the copium though. Last game, Zipto looked down and out at the halftime map 2. They rallied back, they won that series, made it here. They're no stranger to the comeback as they lock in that same double duelist comp again.
Yeah, and I feel like for Zipto, sure they are one of these teams that can bring out this double duelist, but I also wonder if it might be a little better for that Neri and Alexi combo to have that initiator and duelist setup, Mitch.
It certainly could be, but again, one of the things we're looking at, we talked a lot about SRM, but Yuri had a fantastic map previously, and Potter touched on it when a Brim gets going. They they can be tough to deal with. Here on the breach,
Indeed.
I expect that maybe the eyes will be back on SRN entirely.
Absolutely. But last year, it was the same thing for Zipto. They make it to this lower round, one before the lower finals. They're playing against a Brazilian team. They went out then to Team Liquid Brazil. Mika, this is their chance for redemption if they can come back in this series.
You are making me sweat over here, so we're gonna find out if this one does indeed go the distance, and we're gonna send it back to your casters. Here's Pansy and Potter.
So the question becomes, can they change history? Can they find a new way forward? Christine, give me some hope here. Give me that silver lining. I've just seen a 13-4 for MIBR. Where's that way back in?
I'm a believer. Lauren. I'm loving the veto coming out here from Zipto.
Veto,
listen, that bind was they got bullied. They got bullied, but the game plan coming through for Zipto, you can clearly see that their prep is very strong. Coming through on this split, Aniri and Alexi should have a grand old time. No Sentinel on the other side. They've just got to burn out Sayuri's utility, and they've got to keep track of how many birds Jelly has left. So for Zipto, being on the attack side, starting first here, they should be able to control the pace, and with this double dive pressure coming through, any of these duelists, they can be very free. They can take the space whenever they want.
Let's see if they can set the tempo. Everything in their hands, in their control. First bit of contact made, but not a great deal. Again, taking the talk, taking their time. Might as well be towards Alexi and Aniri. At least towards the top end of this. Of course, it takes everyone to set them into motion. I mean, Camu has full util here. And for everything to try and set them into motion. Look at the space taken over towards A, though. I think that's been noted. See Jelly fall back.
See that Shirazi's okay with that, left all of her utility there, and Alexi, she's just biding her time, waiting for Neri to draw a lot of attention so she can take B.
But the timing's fantastic here from Jumps to lean through that smoke. It's still gonna be a bloodbath, but Zipto got the numbers this time.
Bomb is stuck.
Oh no, I don't know what you were talking about, but the spike is stuck. That's what I think stuck in Melville. But still, trying to make a quick way through heaven, that could be dangerous. They're not above walking these smokes, and they spotted a player. Pixel out of place, and a body dropped. Tara's gone. Maybe expecting there to be more respect, but such a diligent flash, but a better swing from Camu. 3 big kills, and Zipto with the first.
Beautiful, beautiful, and things got really dicey there.
Danger.
Cammy, she was just stuck on an island, but you love the timing, you love that pounce coming through. Both the mid players and the B players just matching each other's pace on the hit there.
The amount of smokes walked in this. Just everyone playing ahead of it, and this was pretty much the saving grace here. Camu, beautiful, beautiful work there. Now, can they make it away cleanly on the... You can see the bait in there from the Classic and then the switch up to the Sheriff. But you're looking at the purchase that MIBR have opted for. It's 1 Sheriff and 1 Frenzy. A little bit of util still remaining, but very, very light purchase. So we look at can Zipto keep it clean for themselves. We hold MIBR to the same standard when they had that second round in hand, but Melissa's in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, I say a little, I mean a lot. So site now secured. So the vast majority of MIBR taking the wander over towards 8, and they're going to pressure this issue.
MIBR, they actually gave the orb at A over to, I think they gave it to either Sayuri or Jelly. Wondering whose ultimate MIBR are trying to prioritize here, going into the gun rounds. I think it was on Sayuri's back.
Yeah.
I want to see how many kills she has up. It's very interesting because usually you want to farm that on the raise as much as possible. So I think MIBR are on the side of, you know what, SRN, she's going to get her own kills anyway.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
You know what? I'm mistaken. SRN did get the orb.
Okay. You lied to me. I blindly believed.
I'd
never question.
Hoping for some different 200 IQ approach, but just
here we standard approach. And speaking of alt orbs on the other side, I mean, Zipto have been, they are loving it. You look at the 3 they're pretty close to having. It's the 3 you'd want. Aniri and Camu pretty close by in that regard, and I think Alexi not too far away either. So, straight in on the bonus we go, and it is clear-cut. It's concise, but it takes a lot of damage en route. Already Alexi, though, quite far into this. Catching the rotation, a little lazy at least to an extent for MIBR, but how is Alexi alive here? Alexi getting away with daylight robbery. Plants in, and then suddenly all the pressure is on MIBR. Gets caught by Jelly, which could be the first step back towards this site. I mean, quick little flash of the push here. MIBR step by step going to try to clear through, and it's clean enough. got a little dangerous. They lose out on 2, but Zipto will be happy enough that round.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I hope they're reinforcing their confidence here because you're right, SRN, I think the fact that she was so free, running across that choke point so freely kind of caught Alexi off guard there. But that's exactly the kind of bonus you want if you're Zipto. In the faces of MIBR, setting yourself up for those mid-range fights, and that's exactly what Alexi found for herself. But MIBR were so fast on the flood. And that's kind of the beauty of having double initiators. You saw Suyuri's fault line coming straight through, so gotta be talking to each other about that utility still left on the board.
Got the start here. Alyssa takes a little bit of a glance and takes a bit of control towards B lobby actually, but controlling that space with the one-way in play. Contact through middle 2. The dog gonna at least note the player towards A. So getting your pretty much everyday read of this map.
Shirazi still wondering how many players are on this A. Just saw the dog coming out from the sky, but none of the mid players have seen exactly how many bodies are towards that area. But all of Zipto are regrouping. It's still just Jelly all alone here.
The rest of so far, it'd be a quick flank through sewer at best, but this is where it gets so dangerous. Jelly's got to over-deliver and goes down. That's so much, and now the site is completely open. Shirazi going to try and secure at least the backline, so you can see it there, but you can also see where MIBR pivoted through towards. Rather than sewer going straight up through the vents, taking over heaven control, you're going to hear the Seekers coming out here, and Alexi going to try play through this. The pop flash was good, but Sayari's shot was better. Alexi falls, the Seekers going to find a target, and Camu starts to clear. Dog now in hand, going to try and reapply this pressure. SRN making a stand, though, making a step closer. Zipto in a little bit of danger here.
Sayuri has ult.
Spot on. Does it impact as much as possible? Don't know if it reached as far as Aniri. It didn't. So Melissa's still going to clear, though. 2v2 now. Pressure on the site. Sayuri, last one alive as Tara trades effectively enough, but just gets so back and forth on these sites.
It was so back and forth. If Zipto, I mean, they've got to be counting their lucky stars. But MIBR, I can't believe they made it that close. No one was nearby for Jelly, and I thought Jelly's got to play this round better. She's got to realize she's weak side, fall off the line. Can't be making 2 plays across the board, but if MIBR are going to get away with almost winning rounds like this, making double plays, that's scary stuff for Zipto, but another round on the board, and I think MIBR are probably talking about the fact that they had a mid-play going at the same time as Jelly forward on A.
Too much risk, too little reward. Fernando, as you said, slowing it down. This feels very precarious. A couple of these rounds feel quite close, even though we are seeing Zipto at 3-1. Obviously a very stark contrast to map 1. So already leading the right direction for themselves. Alexi, I think, only 1 away from ult. A couple off the Cammy, but that's fine. And very close by, I think, for the Sky Jelly on the other side. So we've got a couple of ults resurfacing up, but at a 3-1 scoreline, what would you like to see MIBR trying to adjust? I mean, obviously the timing and the kind of balancing act of, you know, okay, maybe we're not going to do the, you post up towards A site while we're going for a little bit of a mid walk, but beyond that, is there anything else, or is it simply just tightening up those timings?
Just got to tighten up the timings, and they've got to stick to playing the fundamentals of this map, right? This is a defensive-sided map for a reason, and it's because the map is designed for you to play around with the corners, play with the wall in front of you, finesse, and play with your food. So for the defenders, we need to see a little bit more of that, especially when you are weak side and the solo anchor. So for the Omen, for the Sky, and for the Viper, they've got to play their roles a little bit better. You can see this is just a broken buy coming through. Jelly does have the Seekers though, so Melissa's gonna be a lot more willing to play this retake, but okay, Alexi. Just
fair enough.
All right.
bro.
Playing a dangerous game over there. They do get away with the ult orb at least, so that's something, denying that. But again, for Zipto already disrespecting that one way over towards B main, so cleared through, got the reward. All the way a player. Camu caught drifting a little.
It's
no man's land on the site. Jelly got a corner to play off. This time I thought the stun was on the money, but still Camu gets around that as SRN and Jubs the last 2. Potential, sure, but this double up towards ramp. Best you'd imagine 1 here without the I mean, Alexi's turned back. Very little to be done here, hopefully without a trade. SRN looking to maybe over-deliver themselves. Yeah, as it stands, Zipto shouldn't entertain anything here. This is a very safe post plant, or at least it should be. At least
Keep saying it, Lauren.
Tuh,
Keep talking about it.
dia.
It should be fine. Everything should be fine. That was, I mean,
Masukin
that was an
dorong.
invested ult just to make sure. That was a little over the top for two sheriffs, but hey.
Yeah, that I don't know about that Raze ult coming through at the end there for Zipto. That's gonna mean a lot. This is such a huge swing round coming into round 6. Would have been lovely.
Because look how many are on the verge having their ults themselves. That's SRM's gonna get away.
Especially with Cameo, with the Seekers coming through, would have been a guaranteed round win on a set piece for Zipto. But either way, one off orb for Cameo. So you can see Zipto, they've got a clear plan around it. Everyone grouped, they want to win this A main fight, grab the orb for Cameo.
Gonna have a brawl on this one, maybe. Jelly there. Looking for the spam. Gonna spot a pixel too. Gonna see a whole lot of utility now as they flood the site. Pace change, but look at the little chip damage towards Aniri and Alexi taking a little bit of chip.
Nice shot.
Oh my god, Aniri getting away with daylight robbery and also getting away with the site control. That's now waving their banner. They should be able to get a pretty safe plant. Nothing can deny that now. But for the retake, you still have the paranoia. Smokes, a couple of bits and pieces in the pockets of MIBR. It's not without threat. So can they make it look threatening at least? SRN gonna show their hand. No push yet.
Yeah, and Shirazi's doing such a good job controlling all of A main. She's gonna reflank back around into A heaven in this post. So even if her side players go down, they've got that insurance plan in the back pocket. SRN just begging and hoping to get a pick.
Yeah, they're not playing to their tune anymore. Zipto are being really controlled, and I like that. This feels, I don't want to say like map 1 yet, but it's 5-1, and Zipto are playing this perfectly. They are reading the game well, they're keeping composed, and they're not playing into MIBR's game. They're not giving SRN those fights. They're not playing in that style anymore. It is very secure.
Yeah, and you even saw that Zipto, they adjusted the spike right there, a little bit more to the right side. That's not a very common spot that you plant the spike, but they were forced into the site, didn't get the optimal heaven plant that they wanted, but communication's coming through really strong, and I love to see those small adjustments. I talked about before this map started, they need to start improvising. They need to roll with the punches and know how to play with SRN's aggression, and that's exactly what Zipto have been doing so far in this second map.
Now, can there be dangers made here? MIBR down on the sheriffs. Now, a reminder, we've seen a round like this won by MIBR, so don't think it's not possible, but Aniri and Alexi, that 1-2 punch, that front line doing well. Clears the site, plant now in play. SRN, Jelly, Jubes. It's very difficult now. This paint shot maybe pushes someone into an unfavorable fight. There's an opportunity. Didn't quite work out as Aniri's just starting to really heat up here.
Yeah.
SRN quickly extinguishes that, but that is now the ult online for SRN. That's nice to have going forward here.
Bro.
The mechanics are just filth. They're so nice to watch. Now, that's dealt with, 2 losses, that's fine, at least in the form of the players. They'll be happy. This is a really big correction from map 1, Christine, because that's, as much as, yeah, it was a quick loss, get it done, cool, you know, you feel a bit more warm. That's still going to be in the back of your mind to be, you're doing it right back to them, right? 6-1 now, big round. This is going to be another huge opportunity, though, for MIBR.
Yeah, it's just such a stark difference on both sides of things. I feel like MIBR kind of baiting themselves with such a dominant performance on map 1, taking a lot of more forward duels than maybe on split defense they're used to, but either way, this is the time to stabilize. 6-6 wouldn't be too bad for MIBR, especially with how things have started off. But for Zipto, they've been in full control. Another ultimate right around the corner on the board for Alexi. She wants to farm this orb, and she's been farming it all half long.
Different tone and a different tempo here. Zipto looking to pressure this B site.